Oh, hello there, Dave from Centurion. Today we're going to be going over required items to attend our events and some optional items as well. This is good for newbies as well as seasoned veterans of airsoft. All right, first things first, you're gonna have to have eye pro. All right, the eye protection that you need has to be ballistically rated, ANSI. There's some number that's associated with it. It'll be somewhere on the screen here. It has to be full seal. It cannot just be like regular ballistic eyewear. It has to be full seal, and the reason that is because of insurance reasons. Okay, so the first example we have this. You get them for cheap. See these guys right here, running with them like Batman. It gives you Batman eyesight. Not necessarily plug in Oakley, but Oakley, you know, their stuff is squared away. High impact resistance from like serious fragmentation. So plastic BB should be no problem. Here I got a pair of Oakley goggles. Same thing. Effective, they'll work. What will not work, again, these are Oakleys as well, but these are obviously not full seal. Although they look very cool, you can see that there is gaps up underneath. If you catch a ricochet on your face, people go for the face, especially when, you know, guys aren't calling their hits. A lot of guys like to transition to the face. This is very dangerous for your eyesight. All right, next piece, mesh wear on your face. If you're 16 or 17 and come to our events with a waiver, it's required by insurance. You got to have one of these guys to cover your face. I ran with one. It's not a big deal, although I was considered less than manly by some. I don't give a shit. I like my teeth and I like my beautiful face. So I ran with one of these, and it's not obstructive. The only thing you need to consider is the way it lines up with your goggles. So you definitely want to test that out so you don't knock the eyewears, because obviously I'd rather take one of the face than take one of the eyeball. So make sure that marries up, and I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. 18 and older, you could run with this, or you could run with baklava, right? Your ninja mask, you can run with that. Mouthpiece is also recommended up underneath, or just with a mouthpiece at all, but again, it's required in order to cover insurance. All right, you can see the mesh, face wear mesh lines up decently with the goggles. You can run like this. Me, I'm an older guy. I have no fashion sense, nor do I care. I want to run and gun. That's what I'm here for, right? But nonetheless, this works. I can see, you know, and covers your mouth, sims. I can still talk on the radio, you know, not a big deal. Nothing gets in the way. All right, another fine example. I got the full face, full seal. I got a bump helmet. Bump helmet isn't necessarily required, but it's suggested, especially if you're doing CQB and going into night ops. I know for my very first event, if I wasn't this, I would have busted my nugget in those tunnels in Operation Stonewall without a doubt. I mean, I smacked my head hard underneath there, and I had a bump helmet when that happened. So definitely appreciated the fact that I was wearing it, even though it's a little more of a pain in the ass. You can see I got the Navy SEAL going on. Thing going on if you're into the Navy SEAL guys. All right, next thing you need, obviously when you go down, you get shot, you need a red rag. It could be, you could get them, whatever, Walmart. They got those mechanic rags that are red. We'll see how guys run with those. Bandana, red bandanas, you get them at a gas station. Or you go to our website and get your very own meat shield rag, which is convenient. It's got 2 different types of Velcro, so whatever kind of male and female, so you can smack it onto your arm or on top. If you got Velcro on your headgear, just slap it on top. Ours also have reflective, some reflective stuff, so you can see it at night a little bit. All right. Next thing is red light or red chem light, one of the two. This includes for daytime ops. The reason being, depending on the area you're working on or working in, you got buildings, it's dark inside, maybe there's tunnels, or again, you go into night ops. So it's required even in daytime ops. Have one handy. We got a red light. You can get them on little camping lights like this. If you're high speed, you could attach it. I'm sure you guys could figure that out, with some Velcro and some 100-mile-an-hour tape and 550, you can figure out all kinds of stuff how to attach it. So I'll leave that up to your imagination as far as having red light on your helmet or on your body. Same thing. Red chem light should be easily accessible. You pop it out so it'll stop shooting at you in those low light conditions. What team is this guy on? Is he tan or is he green? I don't know. I guess that's a point we're trying to make, because you're going to expose yourself. You're going to expose your nugget usually when you're hiding behind cover. You're going to expose your nugget first to see what's going on, right? So it's required to have matching hats. This would be a no-go. This is obviously tan and my top is obviously green. This would be acceptable. I got some green in this hat and obviously I'm wearing BDU top. And you want to also make sure you got my helmet. I hastily spray painted it green because I was on the green team, obviously, because if I were to expose my head and it was black, hey, what team is this on? I don't know. So that's why it's required that you match your headgear with the uniform that you're going to be wearing. All right, the next requirement is water. All right, you got to have at least 1 quart minimum, and it means carrying it. You roll with a Camelback, much like I do. It's convenient. It's easy to drink, even while you're running and gunning. If you're not the type that runs with plate carriers where you could slap that on or something like that, then you want to run old school. I got my old school web gear here with canteens. Just go old school on it. I have some canteens. I got 2 canteens on that. If you don't have that, then you can always throw those disposable bottles and put them in your cargo pockets and roll with that. But you got to have at least 1 quart on you. This includes guys that are running the air packs for their pneumatic guns. All right, next, medical card. This is not the same thing as a casualty card. This is casualty cards for gameplay, has fictitious injuries, and it's meant for the scenario. This is a real-world medical card. You fill it out completely. Reason this is so important is because if something happens, we're going to have medical staff there on site, and as well as if it's that bad, we're going to have EMS show up. They need to know your history, medical history, and any type of medications that you're on. Okay. And also, when you have it on yourself, it has to be located on the left side, any kind of left pocket. So it'll be in here, in my cargo or in my side pocket here, or cargo pocket or back pocket, somewhere on my left side, wherever you may have a available pocket, so that we could look up your information. Fill it out completely. The phone number that you put on here is not going to be your phone number. It's not going to be your buddy's number. It's going to be somebody who knows your medical history. That could be your wife, your significant other, maybe even your doctor or someone in the doctor's office, if you don't have anybody that gives a shit about you. So anyway, on a serious note though, any known medical conditions and any medications that you're on, and any drug allergies. So if you do go tits up because you're a diabetic, then this would help tremendously as to figuring out what went wrong. We did have one real world situation at our last event, and one of the guys went down. Nobody had a clue as to why. It turned out that the medication that he was on probably attributed to him being attributed that he dehydrated quicker. Because it makes you piss out more, so when that happens, you're going to dehydrate faster. Guy went tits up, and EMS had to be called. Very scary when you don't know very scary when you don't know what's going on. And why didn't we know what's going on? Because there was no medical card in his pocket at all. All right, next thing you need is one of these high speed. We play by red line medical rules. We don't use tourniquets and what have you. So currently, this is our MO for casualties. We have 2 knots and it's basically 550. If you don't have, it doesn't necessarily have to be 550, it just needs to be red and needs to be visible. It's best that it's available because you're not the one that's going to be untying these knots, but whoever's the squad medic, he's the one that's going to be untying these knots. So it's a simple overhand knots that we throw on them, and it should be visible so where he could see it and treat you. The last thing you need is one of these guys, a watch. Reason being is don't want to hear the excuses of airsoft officers being late to said events and timelines, but also more importantly to the gameplay is 5 minutes. So according to our rules, you get hit, medic treats you, you got 5 minutes either to bleed out or 5 minutes for a medic to get 5 minutes to bleed out where a medic has to get to you, and then an additional 5 minutes to you know, your wait time while you're out before you get back into the game. So in order to do that, you got to have a watch.